Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I am so glad that you are joining me today. I'm just going to be upfront with you. I'm still shook. Excuse me. I am still shook, rattled. Of course, because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday. I'm actually a little surprised with how much it has me shook and rattled. I think there's a number of reasons for that. And I'm going to talk about it here today because I'm fortunate to have this platform. Honestly, I don't know over the last 5 years or so, I mean, God knew where to place me for sure, because I think I definitely would have driven my husband crazy by now if I didn't have this show. Because it's just such a wonderful place to express in a healthy way, and to be able to inspire others as well, which I feel like is such a big part of my calling. So anyway, I'm grateful for you being here today. I am so grateful. The topic is dark, and as I continue to see stuff coming out on social media, I'm processing, and one of the ways I kind of process all the time, because it's easy to get stuck in your vacuum of information and your sounding board that just your algorithm that keeps feeding you stuff, to keep you on the site longer, no matter if it's making you feel good or making you feel bad. The objective is to keep you on there. And I'm cognizant of that. And so I often, step outside the whole thing and have to remind myself, listen, like I'm where I'm at today with my views and my belief system and my morals and whatnot because of my life experience. And so I have to believe that these other people, they are where they're at because of their exposure, because of their life experience. And so instead of getting caught up in the, oh my God, they're such idiots, and the rage that I see a lot of people expressing, I'm trying to understand how people get to the place that they are today. And it's through their life experiences. It is through their life experience, because that's how I got here. And we're more the same than we're not. I know that to be true. So I start to think, how does one get to a point in their life where they are celebrating the death of another human being that hasn't done anything to anybody? And I mean, really done anything. And I think that's where we're getting off course. We're getting off course because we've allowed the hijacking of our vocabulary. We have, and when I say hijacking of vocabulary, I'm talking about, phrases like silence is violence. No, it ain't. And it's really important that we define that properly. So like when someone told me my silence is violence, I go, no, it isn't. You have been sucked up into the algorithm. You have been sucked up into the propaganda, because let's come back to reality. Silence is silence, right? Violence is when you commit crimes against somebody else in the physical world here, right? When we inflict pain on somebody else, when we use our weapons against other people, when we beat other people, that is violence. Silence is simply silence. And I know this sounds silly to be, defining it in this way, but really, we got to bring these people back to reality, because they're living in an alternate reality here where silence is violence. You see what I'm getting at here? So if silence is violence, that means I can perpetrate violence against somebody else for their silence. It's cray-cray, right? It's crazy. It's a little crazy. But nonetheless, we have to kind of bring them back into reality Very disturbing content online right now. This one got me super upset because this woman is actually from my hometown. She's from Victoria, BC, Canada. And oh my gosh, you guys, she works in social work. This woman is helping your children, helping people with their life. Watch this clip. This is a woman who works in mental health in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, my hometown. Here it is.
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead. Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep this up, please?
Well, first of all, she's crazy. Like, just look at her. Like, there's a look, right? Like sorry about the F-bombs there. Let me tell you, we were rushed to go live today. And so I apologize. Again, I tell you, I'm kind of rattled about this whole thing. I haven't really, settled with it. And so we were late to air today. And so I apologize if there's any F-bombs. We'll be editing those out later for radio play. But there is a look here. And this type of energy coming from someone's death is clear to me that it has come from an exaggerated, propagandized narrative. And that's clear. Because, and I don't know what the F is going on in Canada. I'm just going to tell you right up front. Like, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't recognize my country anymore. My former country. I don't recognize it anymore. I'm not quite sure so many people. And I can say this because I know, like, I'm not just talking about these viral videos, because I've seen some of the comments that are coming off of just like, people I know in Canada who are like screenshotting me stuff and sending it to me. And I'm like, this is in their 500 friend group or whatever on Facebook. So it is a common theme. I'm obviously not painting every Canadian with the same brush, so don't get mad, because all the people, our trucker convoy people, like I hear you. You're over there and you're suffering with these lunatics, and I feel for you. I thank God that I got out of there. I thank God that I got out of there, because I couldn't do what I do today if I lived there. I don't think. But there has been a mass consumption of the Canadian brain, I'm generally speaking. And I don't know if it's because your news is censored. I don't know if it's because you take the superiority complex above Americans all the time. You think you're better than Americans. Generally speaking, not talking about everybody. And trust me, I have family there and I know who they are. They don't fall into that crowd. So I'm not lumping everybody in. I understand. But what you're projecting into the world as Canadians with your leader, with a lot of your viral videos and stuff, it's not coming off good. And I'm telling you, I used to treasure my Canadian citizenship because it was like an automatic pass in to Americans. They'd be like, oh, you're Canadian. I love Canadians. Like, I met some Canadians when we went to Mexico, blah, blah. I heard this story. I've been living in the States longer than I grew up in Canada now. So this is what my experience was. Always welcoming, always loving. Oh, we love our Canadians. We love Canadians. It's not like that anymore. It's not. It's more like this. What in the hell is going on over there? So I don't know, do with that information what you will. But I think it's the algorithm over there. Your news is heavily censored. You don't have your pulse on what's going on over here in Canada or in the United States at all. You're clueless. I live here. So much to talk about today. I'm going to unpack a lot more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I don't know how she knew, but Tammy figured out that what I was eating was the root cause of my health problems. I followed her guidance, made the adjustments, and now I feel better than I have in years. That comes from James in Alaska. Let me tell you, the assessments are going wonderful, and I love connecting with you. I worked late last night, but fortunately, I love what I do, and I love connecting people to real solutions for health. So if you want to join this fantastic community that is growing really fast, actually. We're growing super fast right now, which is very exciting. It only tells me that, we're giving people what they need and what they're looking for, which is support and the ability to do their own thinking about their health. And so if that sounds good to you, if you feel lost in your health journey, you don't want to go to the allopathic model anymore because it's like, it doesn't have the answers you want. Gosh, so many people, everybody I talk to every day tells me that. They don't have the answers I want. Well, no, they're not trained in it. But the good news is you can be your own a driver when it comes to your health journey. You can take control. And if you just feel like, I'd feel better if I was in a community, of support, then this is the place for you. Naturally Inspired. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com, book an assessment today, spend a few minutes with me. Let's figure out how we can get you on track. naturallyinspiredstore.com. Okay, so many things to talk about. I don't want to sit here and just, I guess, I'm being really hard on Canada right now, but of course you could probably understand why. Like, I'm just so disappointed. And I mean, I knew that there was this kind of a bias that existed. I remember the little, snarky comments when I married an American. Oh, she married an American. Yeah, I did. Thank God I did. Thank God I'm here. So I've always known that there was this kind of like uppity attitude about Americans, not from every Canadian, obviously. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that generally speaking, there is this like uppity superiority complex. Otherwise, okay, if you want to deny that, otherwise, why was I told as a child, if you go backpacking across Europe, make sure you put a Canadian flag on your backpack so everybody knows you're not American? And you can't tell me that didn't take place, because it did. And you know it did. And if you did that to any other country as a whole, you'd be called a xenophobe. But somehow you're not called a xenophobe. It's acceptable because it's America. And let me just tell you, you got it all wackadoo. Like, first of all, conservatives aren't packing guns everywhere they go. And they're certainly not banging them off in the air in celebration. Like, I don't even know where these ideas come from about conservatives in America. I really don't. Like, it's complete fabrication. It's like a caricature of what an actual conservative is. And I want to play this clip for you. This is Charlie Kirk on a popular podcast. He's talking to these gals who, I can't remember the name of the podcast, but it's really popular. And these girls are they're out there, right? Like, they're just all about their feminism. Like, we're here, we're going to be, like, honestly, I think they're gross. I don't think they're very classy at all. This podcast I've seen some clips that are just actually pretty vile. Like, they're pretty gross. I don't see how acting like a pig makes you an empowered feminist. You sound like a pig. I'm sorry, but you do. Let's play the clip and then I'll tell you what I think about it, because I've had a lot of thoughts about this. Take a listen.
And I can tell you, I'm super blessed. I have the best wife in the world. We have an amazing life. Building a family is the coolest thing ever. And my prayer for all of you is that you one day can do that. That's so cute. It's honestly the most joyful thing. And I've had some pretty amazing experiences. I've been very, very blessed. Very lucky, you could say, but very blessed is the word I would use. And the greatest joy I've ever had is coming home to my little daughter running up to my leg. There's nothing that even comes close to it. Not flying on Air Force One, not meeting with presidents. That's all that pales in comparison to your little girl coming up and squeezing your leg.
That right there, the girl with the red hair and the, outfit or whatever, that's pain. That's pain, and that's envy on her face. And it's sad to me because these young women, have been brainwashed into thinking that being tough, being a boss girl, being this is embracing their femininity, right? And gosh, they couldn't be more wrong. Sleeping around, trashing yourself out, you're not ever going to attract the kind of man that you're envying for right there. Somebody like Charlie Kirk is not dating that woman. You see what I'm saying here? And it's really sad because they've been misled. As I try to tell people who are single and even my own kids, like, you got to have the right bait on the hook. You're not going to catch, the best trout in the pond when you're baiting the hook with trash. And I'm not sure how they got that message, that sleeping around and trashing yourself out or whatever, that you're going to attract something worthy. You're not. What you're doing there is you're living out your trauma. The envy in that girl's face is coming from her hurt. She didn't maybe have a father that made her feel that way. Maybe she, I don't know what her trauma is, but there's envy in her face. And there is expression, the way she expresses herself is almost like an FU to society, right? Like, this is who I am. You're gonna, you got to accept me the way I am. I'm tough. I'm this. And you're never going to be able to fill that gap, that hole. Because we're human and we're not the same. And I would never want to say that everybody's needs are the same. But there is an instinct. As a human being, you are born with an instinct to reproduce, to be a mother, to be a father, as a man, to provide for your family, makes you feel worthy, makes you feel masculine. As a woman, to be able to nurture and take care of and be taken care of. You're wired that way. And so when you act out in this way, you're actually going against your innate senses. And that's what Charlie Kirk was trying. I feel like that's what he was trying to expose young people to. Like, it's funny because it's kind of the same parallel to our health. We are taught to fight against our body. Right? Like, fight against your body. You're going to beat cancer. You're going to beat this. You're going to beat that. No, you're never going to win against your body. Your body's already designed for you to thrive. It doesn't know anything else but to survive and thrive. So when it communicates to you different signals, even tumors, when it's communicating to you, fever, vomiting, diarrhea, it's all communication. And the communication is, hey, we got a problem here. We got a fire. Let's put it out. We need to change things here. Hello. Those in the allopathic model, they call those symptoms. I call them signals because they are just that. They are communication. And it is our job to interpret that. Well, same thing here. Same thing here in society with our culture. We have these innate needs that need to be met. We're designed to partner up. We're designed to grow families, to reproduce, to keep the human race going. And I'm not saying it has to look the same for everybody. Trust me, I'm not saying it has to look the same for everybody, but the majority needs to reproduce. We got to hold this thing together. If it isn't the families, the heterosexual families that are going to hold things together so other people can live on the fringes if they want, then what is going to keep it going? You see what I'm saying? Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here today. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code Tammy at checkout for a special discount.
September 11th today. I didn't even recognize that. Of course, I thought about it this morning. September 11th today. So of course we recognize that and the impact that had on us as a country. Lives lost, obviously, first and foremost, and many first responders' lives ruined from the toxicity and whatnot that occurred on 9/11 down there. So I want to recognize that, make sure I recognize that. And also there are currently 2 other shootings that have taken place since Charlie Kirk, right? We had a shooting yesterday in Evergreen here in Colorado at a school. And from what I understand from one of our community members texted me earlier, and I saw in the news as well, Stockton University is on lockdown due to a shooter. And I don't have too many details on that, but now we have a pattern, so not sure what's going on here, but certainly feels very heavy, lots of stuff. Anyway, I want to get back to this topic a little bit because of the celebration of people. I had posted on Twitter that you really don't belong here if you're celebrating. And by here, I mean in America. You don't belong here if you are celebrating the public execution of Charlie Kirk. You don't belong here because that's not the values that this country was founded on, and that's not how we run this place. This is the freest place in the world. Supposed to be, right? We're fighting for it right now, that's for sure. I think one of the reasons why this event has rattled me so much because Charlie Kirk was killed for what he said. He was killed for what he said. He actually was very emotionally intelligent. He had a great way of keeping his cool when he was challenged on his ideas. Like he for such a young guy too, very impressive. Never went to college. So it says a lot, about his character to be able to hold his temper. I mean, people said terrible things about him to his face. not sure that I would be as skilled at that. I think it's going to take me a lot more practice. But ultimately, he was killed for what he said, the words he spoke. And that's rattling to me because I speak publicly every day. And I know one of the things, that was really prominent discussion lately, especially, is these vaccines. The vaccines in general, health in general. And nobody's talking about vaccines right now, are they? And that's a little concerning to me, because you start to wonder, the diversions created. And honestly, as I was preparing for the show today, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't find anything really about health. And my mind is consumed with what happened to Charlie Kirk. So like, oh, diversion, it's working. It's working. I mean, Ron Johnson has been holding hearings this whole week. And I live and breathe health. And even I can't stay focused on that. And I'm telling you, the medical mafia is just that. It is a mafia. We're not talking about medicine. We're talking about business, people. We are talking about business when we talk medicine and health. We are talking about money. We are talking about control when we talk health. So yeah, I want to share with you. Well, actually, you know what? I want to talk about something first. There was a viral clip going viral today. Well, I don't know if it was viral on everybody's algorithm. Viral on mine because I'm an MMA fan and whatnot. But I don't know if you know Sean Strickland. He's an MMA fighter for the UFC. And he's kind of a rough guy, in terms of speaking his mind. And is very conservative, I would say. But he's been banned in Canada. Oh, my gosh. They just, gosh, it's just so embarrassing. Anyway, he made a video and it was the most authentic video I've seen online today. Most authentic video. Just a kind of a warrior type of mindset man expressing how he feels about Charlie Kirk in the incident with Charlie Kirk. And just like really raw, just talking in his car about it. And of course, I saw conservatives say, some conservative say that, I hope Dana White takes this guy out of the UFC. He's talking poorly about Charlie Kirk, and I that just really, I was very annoyed by that. People like Sean Strickland, if they aren't in the UFC, they're in jail. Shut up. People don't get it. When conversation stops, violence and bad things happen. I've always thought that. And Charlie Kirk thought that as well. I have a clip of him saying just that. Let's play it.
If you have concerns about the vaccine, which, by the way, a lot of people do, including Dr. Malone.
I think we got I put these in the wrong order for Jason. I am sorry. I don't think he has it, actually. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I had another clip of Charlie. Maybe I'll send it over to Jason right now. I don't know if he'll be able to put it in. But it is Charlie Kirk talking about how when talking stops, violence starts. And that was my point there. But like I said, we were running late, and I think I probably sent him a couple a bunch of clips and not the right one. So anyway, there was a clip that I was going to share with you today, and maybe I'll share it tomorrow. It is Charlie Kirk talking about the reason why he goes out to school and university campuses to speak, because he thinks it's the most important work to be done. It's easy to go out into an audience of people that agrees with you. That's pretty easy. You know that you're going to get accolades and you know that you're going to get applause. It's a lot more difficult to step out in a place where you know you're not going to be well received. But it's very important that we do that, because again, the reason why people hold the values and hold the beliefs that they hold is because of their individual experiences in life. And so we're really, if we can get in front of each other, and if we can get people away from the propaganda machine, the portal, right? That the algorithm that programs our minds for dopamine and for responses, reactions, then we can connect more and at least understand where these people are coming from. And that's what I found myself trying to do, because I started to get sucked into the emotion of everything. And then I realized, like that woman from Canada, she's had some experiences. And, she works in social work, so I'm sure she is dealing with troubles every day, day in and day out. And she's empathetic to their plight that she's dealing with, but she's not understanding, from my point of view, how those people got there. She's wanting to apply a Band-Aid fix, something in the moment, right? Like social services, government assistance, empathy. But that doesn't get to the root cause of the problem. And I don't think people are interested in getting to the root cause of the problem sometimes, because the truth is personal responsibility. Radical personal responsibility. We can't control our circumstances all the time. We can't control what other people do to us. We can't control things that happen. We can only control how we respond to things. And radical personal responsibility requires work and acceptance, and it's somewhat uncomfortable. And it's not immediate. And these other people, I think, they think the answer is just to cover it up with a Band-Aid, a solution in the moment. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back with a Naturally Inspired moment.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I didn't expect people to comment on my skin, but since starting the cellular reset, I've been asked if I changed my skincare routine. It's the inside out effect for me. That's from Jeannie from New Mexico. But you know what? I can add myself to that because I tell you, I've been doing a lot of assessments lately. And every time I get on Zoom, more often than not, people are like, man, what are you doing to your skin? Because you are like glowing. I'm taking the cellular reset. I have added that. I've been on the collagen for a very long time. So if you're looking for glowing skin, Jeannie and I will highly recommend it. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com today and click on the cellular reset and get yours today. For today's Naturally Inspired moment, I think it is important to always try to say, when I struggle with injustice. I think injustice has been my thing, I don't know, since in kindergarten. I was the kid that was like, hey, don't say that to her, when I was like 5, that was me. I think there's always a way, to be constructive when you feel frustrated, when you feel like an injustice has happened. You are not powerless. There's always something that you can do. So today, for today's Naturally Inspired moment, I want to talk about 5 ways to let injustice inspire you. Number 1, awareness builds strength. So injustice shines a light on what's broken. Instead of despair, let awareness fuel your determination to build resilience and be a part of changes. So journal one injustice you've seen and one way you can respond constructively. So how can you respond constructively? That is what I'm doing here every day. I saw an injustice in the health system. It affected me personally, right? And I'm using that to express myself and to create change and build purpose in my life. And so sometimes, you need to figure out what riles you up. I always say your biggest pain almost always ends up being aligned with your biggest purpose. So awareness on that. Sometimes you got to stop and look around. If this is really impacting you, what's going on in the world today, that's your cue to do something. Get involved in a constructive way. Number 2, discover your purpose. When something feels unfair, it awakens your inner compass. And that discomfort is a clue pointing you towards your mission. So ask yourself, what does this stir in me that I can turn into action? Number 3, vision beyond pain. Injustice can trap us in bitterness, resentment, unless we use it as fuel to imagine a better way forward. So vision turns pain into possibility. If you spend 5 minutes visualizing what justice, healing, or restoration would look like in your community, and figure out how you can take a small part in that. Number 4, belief in your voice. Oh, this is a hard one. Had to work through this one myself. The temptation is to think, I can't make a difference. What am I going to do? But injustice reminds us that every great movement began with one voice refusing to be silent. Share your perspective today, even if it's just with a friend or in your community, on your social media, and watch your influence grow. Courage is contagious. It is. And you can make a bigger impact than you may think you can. Number 5, focus on transformation. So injustice can harden or it can redefine you. Choosing transformation means letting the struggle make you wiser, more compassionate, and more determined. So reflect, how has what I've been through made me stronger and more able to help others? That's the only thing we can do when terrible things happen, right? When catastrophe strikes. The only thing we can do is try to pick out some kind of lesson from it, and then pay that forward to other people. And I think that's so important, especially, if you've struggled with things, life events like addiction, or even, common life events like divorce, or, you're struggling with a child that's gone off the rails or what have you. All you can do is try to help other people and support them through that process. That's really the only reason that you can come up with, like, why did I go through that? And if you go back and you reflect on some of the things you've been through in your life, I know you can come up with some really valuable lessons that you learned, and you can even tie it in. It's like sometimes I'm like, probably the most painful experience that we've been through as a family is what happened to Mateo when he was injured by a flu shot. I can't compare that to anything. It's just, I've had a lot of painful moments throughout my life for sure. But that one, you just feel like when your kid is sick and you're scared and you can't do anything about it and it's like life-threatening. Gosh, I've never felt any more pain like that before in my life. And so part of my prayer is always, a repetitive prayer that I have is just to show gratitude for him coming through that process, healthy and whole now. But I always pray for the moms that are sitting in an emergency room right now, the dads and moms that are sitting in an emergency room right now, not knowing what's going on with their kid and feeling helpless because I don't know that there's more a painful, death of a child is probably the only thing that trumps that kind of pain. And so we're not even, I've heard a lot of talk about Charlie Kirk's wife and Charlie Kirk's children, and absolutely, for sure, my heart is with them. But also, there's a mother out there today as well who lost their son. And I don't know that there would be any greater pain on the planet than that. And so, you walk through those trials, and the only thing I think that you can do to keep moving forward and try to bring some positivity is to help other people that have been through that are going through the same type of pain. If you have a little distance from it, you can offer support and be a model for other people. Once you get a little distance outside of it, you have a different view and you can be a model for them. Like, hey, I'm here. I went through that as well, and I'm still in one piece. And let me tell you, there's a quality of life beyond that. And I think that can be so powerful for somebody who is stuck in the moment. So I'm living that. I'm living that right now, how injustice can be turned into inspiration in order to lead a purposeful life. And so if you find yourself rattled in everything that's going on in the world today, let that drive you forward in inspiration for using it for something positive and constructive. there's never anybody too small, and your voice is never too quiet to make an impact. It starts small. It may start with your best friend. It may start with a friend that they know, but eventually you're making an impact. People talk, and even censorship can't stop your message. Not completely. They may be able to keep you from reaching the masses easily, but they cannot silence you completely. The only way they silence you completely is if you quit. And so don't quit. I mean, I'm living that. I have had to pivot from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, because organic is not a real thing, Organic growth is not a real thing when you're talking about health and when you're bringing solutions to people that they truly need. It doesn't happen. Censorship is real. This is a monster, a behemoth of a problem. And again, I have to reiterate, it's all about money and power and control. And the cult, and it is a cult. It's culture, and it is a cult. They don't allow room for other people who are outside of it. And that's how other people, that's how they are captured by the cult. And they can't even allow other voices to be heard. I mean, the assassination of Charlie Kirk was a sign that we have a cult in this country. And it grows. And without other voices, it will continue to grow. So it's more important than ever now that we all take personal responsibility and start speaking out and connecting with one another with what we think, what we believe. So important. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the simple radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. In the first hour, we've been talking, of course, a lot about Charlie Kirk, a lot about the culture around what pushes this chaos. I mean, I haven't even gotten into some of the things like mind control and operations. And this is, I'll just tell you my opinion straight up. I do think this was a professional hit, no doubt about it in my mind. I mean, it hit somebody's carotid artery from, a roof. You're well-trained, skilled. I don't like to speculate on where such an orchestrated assassination would come from, because I don't know. But sure feels like we've seen this kind of before, right? Anyway, breaking news: there is a active shooter at UMass in Boston as well. So it's definitely something going on here. I'm not sure what's happening here, but UMass has an active shooter. And of course, I mentioned already Stockton in Jersey was in lockdown. And of course, we had a shooting yesterday at Evergreen in Colorado. And we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday. So something is happening in our country here. And I think I just texted my daughter, who's in Massachusetts, to go straight home. I don't want her out and about anywhere. And so I don't know. I don't have sense to make out of it for you. I just know that we are, in a very sick, dark place in this country. And I don't know who celebrates this kind of thing, but this is the stuff that we have fought against, like Sharia law promotes and prescribes public executions. Sharia law does. So if you're cheering for public executions, I don't think you don't belong here. It's time to leave. Go somewhere where they like that kind of thing. Because that's not here. That's not what we're about here. I'll try to keep you updated. I'm looking at my Twitter here. I know it's things are changing quickly. I'm looking at my Twitter here, and we have an active shooting, it sounds like, at UMass. So I'll try to keep you up to date with those things as well. But I do want to move on to talk about health and talk about what's happening in health right now. I don't know if it is correlated to all these distractions that we're having right now, but I tell you, we have a beast here, and it's corporate capture. And it's a beast that we are fighting. This is a war it's a spiritual war between good and evil. And the beast is at play here right now. And all eyes are on what's happening, violence and darkness. And it makes me wonder, does this have anything to do with the fact that we're about to get an announcement about pharma? And it's not just pharma, this is the megacorp. This is the mega corporation, the BlackRock, the Vanguard, it's a monopoly. It affects everything. It isn't just, we're going to talk about vaccines. No, this is much bigger than that. And so I was, to tie it in here, I want to show you what Charlie Kirk thought about vaccines. This is one of his appearances way back when Tucker was still allowed to be on Fox News. Take a listen.
If you have concerns about the vaccine, which, by the way, a lot of people do, including Dr. Malone and Brett Weinstein, you should be able to opt out of the vaccine, especially if you're an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old, where you are the lowest risk cohort in the entire country of dying from the Chinese coronavirus. The stories are mounting of young people that have got the vaccine and then have unusual health events afterwards. At Turning Point USA, we are going to give it everything we have to make sure that students are not going to have to live in a medical apartheid because they don't want to get the vaccine.
Freedom. And that was what was written across Charlie Kirk's chest yesterday when he was executed. Freedom. And that's the stuff he was killed for, is freedom, right? He didn't say he was going to take everybody's right to get vaccinated away. He wasn't, advocating for, loss of rights. He was advocating for more freedom. And so, yeah, it's just so confusing to me, right? When you listen to some of these people who are, they're wanting to, they want special accommodation for however they feel at the time. They want everybody else to conform to their way of thinking. And somehow this is progress. Somehow this is progressive and needed and not hateful. Like it's so bizarre, right? When you try to really break it down and try to understand where these people are coming from. What are their experiences? I think it stems in trauma, likely childhood trauma, because that is the most impactful, I feel like, childhood trauma. And maybe these people had, that are so susceptible to the narrative that's being pumped out, the brainwashing, which, you have to have believers in order to have control. And that's what the cult does. They need believers to follow them, just like a cult, they need a leader and they need believers. And so in order to achieve their desired outcome, the cult wants, I believe that their foundation of belief is based in eugenics. They actually want the perfect society, and they think that being able to control people, they'll be able to control and curate the perfect society. And a lot of that has to do with their innovations that they're making in artificial intelligence and tech, and then it goes back historically too, to the roots of origin, where they ultimately are trying to create the perfect human race. That's eugenics. And so anybody that steps outside of that and messes with their cult agenda, well, you're not so useful. When Jason and I were talking about this last night, we were talking about like the solution to this is more people speaking out, because somebody like Charlie Kirk getting assassinated is proof that, there's still too much emphasis and too small of targets. I think that's what made me so upset about COVID and whatnot, because there were really so few of us speaking out. We became targets. We became easy targets. Because a lot of other people said, I don't want to get involved in that. Yeah, I just want to travel. I can't really say anything because of my job. And so what that did was it made for, a lot of easy targets, because it was easy to see who was speaking out. So therefore it was easy to censor them. It was easy to silence them. It was easy to put pressure upon them, take away their paychecks. You know what I'm saying? But if there had been many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, millions of people going, no, wait a minute. A lot harder to silence. Right? Because you don't know where to, it's like whack-a-mole. What, you can't silence everybody. And, some people are just really pretty good at influencing. And so that's going to happen. But if you really want to provide protection for people to protect free speech, then start saying stuff too. Start saying stuff too. Because that means that, we're protected because there's so many of us. You can't silence all of the people. And I think that's what this will do ultimately, is I think as we speak. Active shooter on UMass campus sounds like. We've definitely got something going down in our country. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
Want to remind you to get your CBD from Prosper Wellness at jointrestore1.com. Jointrestore1.com, the best tasting gummies for CBD. It's a CBD Boswellia mix. It's powerful. It's great for recovery and so much more. So get yours today at jointrestore1.com. Use promo code Tammy and get yourself a little discount. I found this was an interesting clip today. Sam Altman was on Tucker a while back, and he shared this clip. I don't know if you're familiar with this scenario, but there was somebody that was working with Sam Altman who claimed that Sam. Oh, do we not have that clip either? I think I did send that one. Let's see. I just got a message from Jason, so I'm going to double check here. Nope, he doesn't have that one either. Goodness. Okay. Yes. Okay. Maybe we will go to that one then, Jason. Lots of speculation on the Charlie Kirk stuff. This was something that caught my attention. It's from Alex Jones, and I think other people are posting it as well by now. But Alex Jones is reporting this. So take a listen.
Confirm this. I went and looked it up and confirmed it. I saw this last night, and I wanted to wait and check. And a whole bunch of corporate publications, a full day before Charlie was shot, put out articles saying Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. But just the headline. And the people there were chanting, and we have the audio, you hear the crowd, the noise, and there's all the witnesses they were saying. It's kind of like, kill Charlie Kirk. You know, it's like the crazy man that stabbed the Ukrainian girl in the throat. You got to listen real carefully, but he says twice, I got that white girl, but you know, he's in a train, so you have to really listen carefully. But you can hear it in there. I don't know if it'll translate over AM radio out there, probably would on FM, but it's all over X if you want to see it. And the, you know, the cheering, yeah, once it happens, yeah, they're looking, yeah, yeah. And so I've got all the postings in the town by leftists and trans people that, hey, he's getting liquidated tomorrow. He's getting dissolved tomorrow. Something big's going to happen. He's going to go bye-bye. And then there's this, and I'll play that and show you the stuff in a moment, but look at this. Let's put this on screen from Amazon. Put the full screen up, please. The shooting of Charlie Kirk. Yeah, blow that up. Why does Amazon have the shooting of Charlie Kirk by Anastasia J. Casey posted one day before he was murdered? And then they updated it, and it's on the Internet Archive. That's been checked. It happened.
I don't have an explanation for that. This is what I do know, though. We still don't have answers for the assassination attempt of Trump. We don't know anything really about that. We do know the guy's apartment was like completely stripped. He didn't even have cutlery in his apartment. Like it was, it doesn't add up. And I mean, you don't have to be a genius or even a conspiracy theorist to question. We don't have answers from Las Vegas shooting. There's all these events that have taken place, and we don't have answers to really any of it. And that's a little, you know, it feels like this will be another one of those things. And so I think if, you know, you want to dial down the temperature in the country, it would be good to start bringing through some transparency. Because, gosh, I don't think anybody trusts the government anymore, do they? Does anybody trust the government anymore? I don't know anybody that does, but that could just be me. And I think it's directly because we never get transparency. We never get answers for this. And Charlie Kirk was a big influence. Like 100 million viewers on his stuff regularly. That's a big influence. And, you know, we were lied to about JFK. We're lied to about MLK. We're lied to about all of these events in American history. And it feels like this will be another one of those lies. And I just don't know how many more the American public can take. You know, I don't know. If you don't know anything about mind control, if you don't know anything about, you know, MK Ultra, if you don't know even anything about Ted Kaczynski, like I would say, look into that stuff because it's real. And these are real programs, and it's conditioning, and they're psychological, they're psyops, they're, you know, psychological operations. It's a weapon. It's a form of weaponry to be able to use mind control to complete operations. Who's behind them? We don't know. But this certainly looks like one of them again. We have a shooter on the roof. We had a distraction in the audience. I think we had 2 distractions in the audience, right? We had the first older guy in the blue shirt and shorts, that screaming from the cop car, shoot me, shoot me. What was that? And then, we had another arrest that turned out not to be the right one. I saw some reports of possibly Candace Owens was reporting that there was a plane that took off shortly after the killing of Charlie Kirk, and then it disappeared on radar. She's looking for information on that. I just, the best thing I think that could happen right now is transparency. Right? Let's figure out what is going on. Is our government infiltrated with another entity that controls psyops like this? It's just a question. I do believe that our country is run like a corporation. And I think, there's competing entities in any corporation for certain outcomes. Everybody wants to be the CEO, right? Everybody wants to move up the ladder. So it makes perfect sense to me that could be happening inside some of these operations. The government's a big infrastructure, right? It's a big infrastructure. And we don't know, what takes place there, but I know that transparency, you can't go wrong with transparency. And that could be a real help to things. I did have a clip I was going to play for you that I didn't get posted, but I'll just talk about it a little bit. Sam Altman, of course, the developer of OpenAI, ChatGPT, he was on Tucker Carlson recently, and Tucker has a... Well, I started to tell you that there was a guy that worked for ChatGPT, OpenAI, and he felt that Sam Altman was stealing people's work and not giving them credit for it or whatnot. And so he left the company, and then somehow he turned up dead. And the story goes that he committed suicide. But the problem is, the guy didn't really have any signs of suicide. He had ordered food before he committed suicide. And his mother feels that he was murdered. And there's lots of evidence. There's blood in multiple rooms at the scene. There's lots of evidence to suggest that this actually wasn't a suicide. And Tucker Carlson actually confronts Sam Altman. And I'll play the clip tomorrow and we'll get into deeper because I was interested in Sam's reaction. By the way, Sam Altman looks very thin. It looks like he may be under some stress. And I would think that tracks because right now, the only thing that's important to these tech guys is the race to AI. It's about being first when it comes to artificial intelligence right now. And so it tracks that he would look stressed because this is probably the biggest, I don't want to call it that. I hate to call it a transformation but it's a revolution. It's a digital revolution, and it could be the biggest thing that's happened to mankind ever. It's a crazy time. The merger of man and machine is what I'm talking about here. And it's all about the race to AI, getting there first, as I mentioned. And so it tracks. But the way Sam Altman responds to Tucker asking, just says, Tucker asks him, do you think he committed suicide? And Sam Altman says, oh, yes, definitely. I definitely think he committed suicide. But he's looking down away from Tucker. It's pretty interesting, actually. Stay tuned. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
We're back. I want to remind you of my favorite C60, Greska's C60. Your body's bombarded with toxins every single day. C60 is a pure, powerful carbon molecule that helps remove those toxins, supports your healthy cells, and keeps you feeling your best. You can order at c60.com today or call Bob or Sam at 720-600-6040. Don't forget to use the promo code TAMMY if you go to the website, c60.com, for a special discount. That's TAMMY. We have active shooters, it sounds like, in the country. One at UMass. I don't know what's going on at Stockton. I haven't had an update recently. I'm trying to find some stuff here on Twitter as we're talking to you. And of course, what am I thinking about? As every time, it's just fascinating to me because the left believes that the reason behind shooters and school shootings is because we have guns. And that's not true because look at Europe, right? I mean, Europe, they now have a stabbing problem. You know what I mean? Like it's just stupid. You don't take away things from people who follow the law because people don't follow the law. It doesn't make any sense. Criminals are criminals. They're going to find ways to commit crimes. And when you disarm people who follow the law, well, then you've got a problem, right? Because then all the guns end up in criminal hands. That's no good. But the first thing that comes up, and I know a lot of people are very concerned about the gun issue right now because of everything that's happened and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But let me tell you, that was a professional hit. We don't know who ordered it, but it was a professional hit. So is gun control going to help that situation? No. What if somebody kind of navigates and weaves, in between the lines of the law because of their security clearance maybe, or their position in government, or their position in corporations? It seems like to me we can all agree that if you're well connected, you're kind of above the law. I mean, Epstein seemed to be above the law, right? All his celebrity friends and people like that were definitely, doesn't seem like the law applies to them. So it doesn't seem like, another law is going to fix that problem at all. The thing that I think of right away is pharmaceuticals. Why are we not having the conversation about pharmaceuticals when it comes to shootings? Because, I've done my best to try to verify this statistic, but there's a whole website that breaks down school shooters and correlates them to being on SSRIs. So that seems like a viable place to start, because SSRIs have been pitched in a way where, the purpose of them, first of all, was based on a lie. It was a shortcut. It was a marketing shortcut to connect. And they're always looking for shortcuts, right? Vocabulary is very important in marketing. And so if they can kind of make shortcuts, they can get the population to understand it. And one of the shortcuts they made, one of the lies they actually put out there, was that mental illness is a chemical imbalance. False. There's no way to measure someone's chemical imbalance. It was based on a total lie. The studies were concocted for the purpose of marketing, because that makes sense to you. It's a nice bite-sized little piece of information that you can digest and think, oh yes, all I have to do is balance my chemical unbalance and then I'll be all right. But not true. In fact, there's more evidence now and research to suggest that mental illness is actually a metabolic disorder. And that makes a whole lot more sense to me. So just some facts about SSRIs, and something that we should all be looking into when it comes to this crisis of mental health that we're in, is that SSRIs actually cause emotional blunting. So many people on SSRIs report that they feel less intense highs and lows. This is interesting to me, especially in the context of government programs like MK Ultra or mind control. Again, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is this lady talking about? There's no such thing as mind control. I would promptly point you to somebody like Kathy O'Brien, who breaks down how mind control is possible. And, we're all under a little bit of mind control all the time. I think we just don't know, especially pre-COVID, we don't even realize it. Mind control is, very, very effective. And it's a lot of the reasons why people go off of assumed knowledge, meaning they've never actually looked at data or, white papers to confirm the knowledge that they know. They just go off of assumed knowledge. That's a form of mind control. It isn't really like a magic spell. It's not like look into my eyes. No, mind control happens from years of conditioning, repetition, right? Repetition of the same information over and over again. There's a lot of different ways to achieve mind control over a population and over an individual. And I wonder if SSRIs aren't a component of that mind control, seeing how we have seen that many of school shooters are on or have been previously on SSRIs. It creates emotional blunting. So it feels like if you have an emotional blunting too, that you might be a more of a vessel that, is open to and more suggestible to doing things without consciousness. So when emotions are dampened, people may be less reactive and more passive in stressful situations. And this can make a person more likely to go along with external influence simply because they feel less motivated to resist. It also has impact on social processing. So serotonin plays a big role in trust, social bonding, and conformity. And research has shown that SSRIs can increase harm aversion. So people become more likely to avoid, being able to tolerate harmful situations, right? They don't have the same reaction. I said this the other day. Do you feel like people don't have the right response to things? Because I do. I feel like yesterday, especially, was another reminder, somebody was assassinated right in front of a group of people. And we saw the footage all over Twitter, and other platforms. And I feel like people didn't have the right response a lot of the time, meaning, I guess we're desensitized to it. I don't know if that's because it comes from movies, comes out of movies, like seeing it in the movies. And so there's this desensitization to it. Well, you know what? Sean Strickland talked about this. And, like I said, there are people like calling for his cancellation and his removal from the UFC. I'm telling you, it was one of the most authentic videos I saw online today. And he was saying, we grew up in a culture where, Call of Duty was being played. They had, Call of Duty marathons where they're shooting people. Like they are creating a sociopathic culture. One of the components I believe that is used is and has been SSRIs. It makes you more vulnerable. It boosts cooperative behavior in social experiments. It's also heightened sensitivity to authority or group cues. So it can make someone more likely to go along as well, which overlaps with suggestibility. Cognitive flexibility. On the positive side, I guess, SSRIs can increase cognitive flexibility, meaning a person is less rigid and more open to new perspectives. How could that be used in a mind control type of situation? So it's an openness into compliance where a person accepts ideas or instructions they might otherwise question. This is all from taking SSRIs. So I think this is an area that we need a lot more focus on. Instead of the gun control conversation, I think we should be having a medication conversation with a lot of transparency. Stay tuned. I have a health topic for you coming up next. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia. I'm so glad you're joining me today. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I want to remind you about Live O2. Have you heard of oxygen training, especially for brain health? Live O2 delivers oxygen-rich performance. You can get it right in your home. This is how you find out how. Learn more at liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com, or you can call Mark. Mark Squibb's been on my shows a couple of times now to talk about this innovation. You can call him, 970-658-2789. Visit liveO2.com for real solutions for health. It's a very interesting thing. If you're dealing with cognitive issues, brain health especially, you're going to want to check out this website, liveO2.com. For the health topic today, I am talking about 7 strategies to support your mental health. So, gosh, so many crazy things going on in the world. You have to keep yourself rooted in faith, right? And ultimately know God's on the throne. But you do need strategies day to day as well. And so today for the health topic, I want to talk about seven lesser known strategies to support your mental health. One of them is interception training. So what is interception training? It's learning to tune into your body's natural signals, like your heartbeat, your gut sensations, or muscle tension. That helps regulate emotions and reduce anxiety. Mind-body practices like somatic meditation or even somatic body work scans the body and strengthens the sixth sense. I've been talking a lot about, how we get through artificial intelligence, how we connect as we move into the digital revolution that many of us don't want to go into, the biological revolution. How are we going to sustain, humans as we know it moving forward? And I believe it's through sharpening our higher faculties, like intuition, like memory, like empathy, these higher faculties that we possess as human beings that artificial intelligence doesn't possess. And perhaps maybe even, dare I say, highly medicated people also don't possess. Can we medicate our consciousness out of ourselves? I think so. I think we can medicate it out. I think we can, it can be conditioned out through repetitive algorithms and what we see and what we listen to. We're susceptible to programming. And I think that one of the worst things that happens is that people don't think they're susceptible to brainwashing or mind control. They think that that's some kind of conspiracy theory. I think thinking it doesn't exist is dangerous. I think being skeptical that, brainwashing does exist and that the government has definitely weaponized it is a healthy thing because it keeps you protected. It's kind of like when you know it exists, it's less likely to be pushed upon you. You're less susceptible to being a victim of it. It's kind of like neuro-linguistic programming. It's the reason why I learned about it, because I want to know how to detect it. I want to see it. And let me tell you, once you learn about neuro-linguistic programming and the power of vocabulary and whatnot, I'm not an expert at using it, that's for sure. But I can identify it when I see it, when I hear it from someone else. I'm not at the level of expert yet where I can use it myself. I want other people to see it and recognize it, though, so we can go, oh, you see the way that happened? Because then you are less susceptible to being sucked into things when they're not even true. And buying into things that aren't true, I mean, that makes you susceptible to being manipulated, your emotions being manipulated. And I see that happening to so many people. At the top of the show, I played you a clip from a Canadian woman, British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia social worker or whatever, that has, she has been devoured by the algorithm. Her brain has been consumed by it. She's not thinking critically. She has allowed her emotions to be weaponized against her. You shouldn't be celebrating the death of your fellow human being. I can't think of anybody on the left that I would be or anybody that I'd be celebrating their death for. We merely have a difference in opinions on this plane, this planet, this earthly existence. And we've had different experiences in our lives that have caused us to think differently. That's it. But we're all members of the same race, the human race. And there's a certain level of respect that we have to give each other because of that. Protecting your mental health. Here's another way. Smell therapy. So your sense of smell is hardwired to your memory and emotion through the limbic system. Using certain essential oils can quickly shift mood states, boost alertness, and also calm stress. I think we can agree on that. Have you ever smelled something like, if you grew up in the 80s and your mom used Coppertone like mine did, you smell that Coppertone, man, and you're right back at the lake. It's a powerful thing. So instead of letting it happen to you unintentionally, where you're taken back, by a smell, you can actually command it, right? You can use it as a tool for calmness. And some of the things you can use, rosemary, frankincense, bergamot, they all kind of trigger that state back into a calming place. Structured micro breaks. So instead of long rests, pausing for 60 to 90 seconds throughout the day to breathe, stretch or step outside resets the stress response, and neuroscience shows short interruptions reduce cognitive fatigue better than a big, long break. I think that's true about a lot of things. The body works that way as well. Like we think that we have to physically move our bodies with some big workout a day, 2 hours of like really intense HIIT or something, high intensity interval training. When in reality, we can do a lot of we can create a lot of momentum and get a lot of benefit just from doing, 40 squats after we eat. So, I think we build it up too big in our minds. So, these little micro breaks can have a big impact on us too. Amino acid therapy, specific amino acids like L-theanine, tryptophan, or tyrosine can support neurotransmitter balance in ways food or vitamins alone can't, offering a targeted lift for mood and stress regulation. So a wonderful addition to supplementation. Light therapy, get outside in the morning. Nothing competes with the sunshine. Nothing competes with the sunshine. But if you are in a place where you don't get a lot of sunshine, we're going into that season, then get yourself a lamp. Sunlight exposure sets circadian rhythm. It boosts serotonin and stabilizes cortisol. It can also reduce anxiety, even in the summer months. And then I like this one, micro acts of kindness. Doing very small acts of service, like holding a door, sending a short text of encouragement to someone, creates measurable increases in dopamine and oxytocin, lifting your own mood while helping others. That's something we can all do very easily, is send a message to those that we that are in our community, that are in our family, that are in our friendship circles, especially right now, with everything that is going on. Just a random text, say, hey, I was thinking about you, and it's crazy the things that are going on in the world, and I just wanted to reach out and connect. Super easy. It's a win for you, and it's a win for them. Number 7, create creative flow practices, engaging in hands-on creativity, painting, gardening, woodworking, even cooking without a recipe, just let it fly. A lot of times, especially on my health text line, I get, I don't know what to eat. And I don't know, do you have the recipe for that? And I really do need to sit down and start, writing out my recipes. But I cook with just a lot of intuition. My mom was a fantastic cook, and I think I just grew up around it a lot, and I just got the rhythm for it. And so I don't often have, recipes written down because a lot of it comes from creativity and just intuition. But trust your instincts when it comes to your creativity. If it turns out a mess, it's going to be okay, but just allowing yourself kind of the no holds bar type of creativity is very therapeutic for your brain, for your dopamine, for your serotonin, for all kinds of things. So don't create within boundaries. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. That's the good news, right? It's about the process. It's not necessarily about the outcome. And so engage in some hands-on creativity. Who cares if you're not a painter? I'm not a painter. Go buy some stuff. Find an outlet to be creative. It is something that everybody needs. It shifts your brain waves into a flow state, which reduces rumination and quiets anxiety loops. Mental health is supported not only by avoiding stress, but by building small, surprising habits that reset your body, brain, and spirit throughout the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Such a crazy day. I appreciate you being here with me. This has been Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40%